Come on.
Tank, what round do you finish this?
Let's move with the team.
A new dispute has surfaced between Gervonta and Shakur Stevenson, and the boxing community is buzzing with excitement about the developing rivalry between the two fighters. At this point, it's unclear who is to blame for the recent altercation between Davis and Stevenson, as both sides have provided conflicting versions of events. The disagreement centers around allegations of one fighter avoiding the other over the past few years. Shakur Stevenson has made it clear that he's eager to face Tank in the ring, but he's received inconsistent replies from the Baltimore fighter. However, Davis recently claimed that it was Stevenson who declined to sign the contract, marking the beginning of their disagreement, which later escalated into a significant clash between them.
Oh, no cap, no cap. If he sent me a contract, tell him post that contract. Post the contract he sent me. That's what I want to see. And I want to see that. Don't make up no fit.
The situation could potentially be a major distraction leading up to their upcoming fights. Nevertheless, both fighters are staying focused on their respective matchups. Stevenson had to make a last-minute switch, replacing Floyd Selt with Josh Padley for his upcoming fight this Saturday, while Davis is fully preparing for his bout against Lamont Roach on March 1st.
Track you sent me. I would love to see it.
Damn, okay.
And show me you sent it to me. To the email, to make sure that I got it, nigga.
Or somebody in your...
Although their fights are very different, the silver lining is that both are competing close to each other's fight dates, making it easier to arrange a potential showdown between them. Davis fought Frank Martin on June 15th last year, while Stevenson faced Haram Haratchunan on July 6th. Now, they're scheduled to fight a week apart again, bringing the possibility of a matchup between them closer before Davis possibly steps away from the sport. However, this isn't the primary issue at hand right now.
Tank just said on Twitter that he sent Shakur a contract and went elsewhere.
Oh my life, Tank a liar. If he just said that.
Davis seemed confident that he sent a contract to Stevenson, accusing him of dodging a fight with one of boxing's biggest stars. But it appears Davis may have been dishonest about the contract, as Stevenson's team denies ever receiving any such offer. The WBC lightweight champion, who will defend his title this weekend in Saudi Arabia, stated that he's never gotten any proposal from Davis's camp.
Gervonta said, quote, "Ninja sent him a contract. He went elsewhere." End of the quote.
A few months ago, Stevenson had already labeled the whole contract story as fabricated, calling Davis a liar. Both fighters had previously agreed verbally to a potential fight, but Stevenson's co-manager, James Prince, recently declared that Davis's claims are entirely false. With no supporting evidence, Prince suggested that Davis should double-check his sources and confirmed that there is no truth to the allegations, according to YSM Sports Media.
Is lying. And recently, like yesterday on Cigar Talk, Shakur came out reacting to the...
Stevenson maintains that he has been truthful, emphasizing his readiness to take on any opportunities that arise. Regarding the claim of an offer from Davis, Stevenson believes Tank may have been mistaken and strongly reiterated that no contract was ever sent. While it's unusual for Davis to lie, we'll have to wait for further developments. Meanwhile, James Prince shared some positive news about a potential fight, pointing out that Stevenson's stock has significantly risen, especially after his performance against Artur Heron in 2024, which was broadcast on live television rather than pay-per-view.
If it's true, then show the contract, show proof.
Viewership for Stevenson's fight with Artur Heron peaked at over 1.1 million viewers, proving why a fight between him and Gervonta could be highly profitable. Both fighters are eager to make the matchup happen, but no final decisions have been made. This uncertainty is what's delaying the Davis-Stevenson fight. Despite ongoing discussions, nothing concrete has emerged, and James Prince confirmed that no offers or paperwork have been exchanged. Despite the contract controversy, Stevenson recently shared his thoughts on Tank, saying that he knows this fight could become one of the most iconic in boxing history.
I'm not gonna go up there and act like Tank is not a good fighter. I think Tank is a hell of a fighter. I think he's special. What he does with his talents is amazing to see. I love the way he boxes. But truthfully, same way he acts,
It's clear that boxing thrives on rivalries, and few potential matchups have generated as much excitement as the one between Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta. The two have been circling each other for years, trading insults on social media but never stepping into the ring. Tension continues to build, but the fight remains just out of reach. Recently, Stevenson, the WBC lightweight champion, reignited the debate by downplaying Davis's resume, stating he didn't care about the matter. However, his comments in a recent interview suggest he may care more than he lets on.
If he want to retire with the career that he got, then go ahead and do whatever you got to do. So I disagree with it. I think it's soft.
And Stevenson has criticized Davis's track record, specifically pointing out the clauses in his contracts. While he understands that these might be necessary due to Davis's physical advantages, Stevenson still believes that a fight between them could be the biggest in the world. He insists that it should happen, but ultimately it's up to Davis. This isn't the first time Stevenson has criticized Davis's opponents, claiming that Tank has been fighting lesser talent and making them appear to be on his level. Their rivalry has been growing for years, with Davis calling Stevenson an easy fight and Stevenson warning Davis of a rude awakening, both of which have only fueled the anticipation for this long-awaited clash.
With Lamont Roach, but do you feel like you guys could fight 2025 or 2026?
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't into chasing people around. I mean, if he's willing to fight, I'm ready.
However, the fight never came to fruition as negotiations broke down, with Davis quickly blaming Stevenson. He alleged that Stevenson avoided the fight, even going as far as posting on X, claiming he sent Stevenson a contract, but Stevenson chose to go elsewhere. Stevenson responded by calling Davis a liar during an interview on Cigar Talks, challenging Davis to prove his claims by posting the contract he supposedly sent.
I think it should happen, but I ain't gonna lie, I can't sit there and chase you and then, he could try to make it seem as though I need him and I don't need him, so.
While the super fight is still in limbo, both fighters have their own business to handle. Stevenson faced disappointment when his opponent, Floyd Schofield, pulled out of their scheduled fight just days before the event due to an illness. Stevenson will now face the undefeated British fighter, Josh Padley, in Riyadh this weekend after Schofield's withdrawal at the last minute.
Tank know what's up. You know what I mean? He know what he up against when he fights Shakur or Keyshawn. You know what I mean? He want to fight these guys that everybody in the world knows.
Although Stevenson will still compete in the major pay-per-view event in Saudi Arabia on February 22nd, his WBC lightweight title will now be on the line against Josh Padley. Padley, an undefeated fighter from England with a 15-0 record, comes off 3 knockouts in his last 4 victories. Though he was an underdog in his previous fight, he defeated Mark Chamberlain via unanimous decision. This will be Padley's first world title shot. Having turned pro in 2019, Stevenson commented on Schofield's withdrawal, speculating that Schofield might have struggled to make weight, possibly due to weight issues. He also expressed disappointment about the cancellation, feeling like Schofield had slapped him in the face by backing out after being given an opportunity to fight.
Thinking that since the fight started, I didn't really think it was going to be a possibility they was going to accept the fight. So then when they accept the fight, they surprised me there. But then when they didn't show up to the press conference, I kind of had
Ian Stevenson also expressed his frustration, stating he wanted to give Schofield the chance to make big money. Meanwhile, tensions between Terence Crawford and Gervonta Davis have escalated, with Crawford recently discussing the possibility of a fight with Davis during an appearance on The Breakfast Club, a popular radio show in New York. Davis, on the other hand, is preparing to defend his WBA lightweight title against Lamont Roach Jr. next week at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. If both Davis and Stevenson win their respective fights, the pressure to make their bout happen will only increase. Roach, brimming with confidence, has boldly challenged the undefeated Davis, acknowledging the guts it takes to confront a fighter with a perfect 30-0 record and 28 knockouts.
Think to fight next after this fight. Like, Tank over, win, lose, draw, whatever. Who you want next? Look, if y'all don't know, even after I beat Tank,
Davis's greatness is undisputed, but several boxing analysts have criticized him for cherry-picking opponents, questioning his legacy. Still, Lamont Roach should not be underestimated. Their upcoming press conference is expected to be chaotic, and their recent IG Live exchange has given a glimpse of what fight week will look like. Despite the back and forth, Roach has shown that he's willing to give credit where it's due, acknowledging Davis's skills as a fighter.
obviously I'm the best 130 pounder in the world. It's evident. I can't wait to prove it. I can't wait to show it. But
Davis has faced his share of criticism, with some questioning his resume and others downplaying his abilities in the ring. However, Lamont Roach doesn't put much stock in these critiques, having grown up in a similar area to Davis. Roach feels he understands him better than most and doesn't buy into the negative opinions surrounding Tank's career.
I'm going to prove that I'm one of the best fighters in the world. When this is the beginning of my legendary run. This right here.
Now, we've seen Ryan.
Over the years, Roach has respected Davis's rise to becoming a multi-division champion, a pound-for-pound star, and according to some, the face of boxing. Roach doesn't shy away from admitting that. However, while Davis enjoys his reign at the top, Roach knows that all good things must eventually come to an end. I'm going to show y'all what it takes to be the new face of boxing come March 1st. Roach said during an episode of Against All Odds.
Because I've spoken to Rolly, their approach is, we're dehydrated. We had to go in there.
As Roach and Davis prepare to face off on March 1st, staying at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Roach, who has fought in the lightweight division before but made his name one weight class below, understands the challenge ahead. The size difference and Davis's reputation for leaving opponents battered and hospitalized have led odds makers to believe that Roach stands little chance.
Man, then they keep talking about some no disrespect. Come on, bro. Like, come on, man. Use a real fake for real.
Despite the doubters, Roach embraces the challenge. He recalls being labeled the underdog against Hector Luis Garcia, only to prove the critics wrong, now facing Davis. The 29-year-old understands the task at hand. Davis, known for easily dismantling opponents, demonstrated his power when he stopped Frank Martin in the 8th round last June.
What you hating for, bro? Every time you see me, it's what up, shawty. Is that, you know how you talk. What you talking about, mo? I'm really him. I bring any type of smoke to anything in my way. What you talking about?
To avoid a similar fate, Roach knows that his preparation must be at its peak. He acknowledges the high level of competition ahead. Over the years, Davis has been accused of choosing easier opponents, but Roach is a skilled, championship-level fighter. However, for a pay-per-view event featuring Davis, many would prefer an opponent who can deliver explosive performances or at least bring a dynamic personality to the spectacle. The missing ingredient is the right kind of opposition to justify the hefty pay-per-view fees. Roach is a solid fighter, but hasn't yet reached the top level. His character alone may not be enough to make the fight as marketable. While Roach has been successful at super featherweight, it took time for him to reach this point. Had he made more title defenses, a fight against Davis might make more sense. But Roach has only defended his title once, against Jamel Herring. We've seen Davis in similar situations, such as his fight with Hector Luis Garcia, who, after being stopped by Davis, only lost to Roach by a split decision. This has become the pay-per-view model once a fight achieves that status. It remains on pay-per-view regardless of the opponent.
Danny, I wanted to get your thoughts. I appreciate you coming out. I wanted to get your thoughts, Danny, on the Tank Roach thing. So just your thoughts on the fight in general. What do you think about the fight?
Frank Martin, Davis's previous opponent, is also a strong fighter, but has already made a name for himself at lightweight. He was on track to fight Shakur Stevenson and had some solid performances, sparking interest in his skills at the highest level. While Davis is undeniably at the top of his game, his selective opponent choices can be frustrating for fans. Roach, though highly regarded by those who know him, is not the biggest name in super featherweight. Nonetheless, he is capable of defending his WBA title. Meanwhile, Davis's power at lightweight is unquestionable. In the lead-up to fights, Davis tends to remain quiet until pushed too far, which often leads to messy, trash-talking confrontations, like the one he had with Frank Martin, where he made personal threats. Lamont Roach has now entered the drama surrounding Tank Davis, boldly claiming that he would defeat him. Davis responded with a promise to end the fight in the 9th round, stating that he enjoys showing people they're not as good as they think. He recalled how, when he first won the title, the crowd doubted him. Davis has been criticized for fighting underwhelming opponents, with many accusing him of cherry-picking and padding his resume. At 30, Davis is now a target for fighters like Devin Haney, who have taken aim at his match selection. Haney responded to Davis's recent comments with a laughing emoji. Interestingly, Roach wasn't the only fighter Davis's team had considered for a potential matchup. They had also contacted George Kambosos Jr.
Everything that's going on, just to be here today, fighting in the MGM, putting on, you know what I mean, a great event. You know what I mean? I'm just, thank you guys.
Tank, what you got to
In
fight?
a conversation with Mill City Boxing, trainer Humbert Obum revealed that Davis's team had made a lucrative offer for a fight with Kambosos Jr., and they even began preparing for it. However, Roach ultimately claimed the opportunity for himself. When asked about the matchup, Obum said, "I'm not knocking him. It's a good fight," but pointed out that it would be harder for Kambosos, a natural 135-pounder, to move up to 140 pounds than for Roach to face Davis at 135 pounds. Given that comparison, Roach is seen as the easier matchup for Davis.
We got more to do. We got more to do, guys. I don't know. Right, Dallas.
You got Dallas?
As Obum noted, it's generally tougher to face a natural 135-pounder than someone who has to move up in weight. However, Roach is the reigning champion at 130, on a 6-fight win streak with only one defeat in his 27-fight career. Known for his explosive power and crowd-pulling ability, Davis has become one of boxing's brightest stars at 29, with a perfect 30-0 record. Davis's approach in the ring often involves letting his opponents win early rounds, before delivering a devastating knockout as seen in previous bouts. He's promised Roach another brutal knockout.
Yes, I wanted to unify at least one belt at 130. So whoever the champion is, whoever the champions are.
In his own words, Davis warned, "Lamont Roach, I'll break you up. Keep your mother and your kids at home." The last person Davis made this threat didn't make it past the 8th round, getting knocked out cold by a vicious punch. This upcoming match promises to be even more compelling, especially with the added element of revenge. Though Davis and Roach are in different weight classes, they are familiar with each other, which adds excitement to the fight.
Tell him I'm gonna f him up.
Not at all. Never. Nothing's gonna get f***ed up with. What do I look like getting f***ed up?
This situation is reminiscent of the rivalry between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, which started with their first professional fight but was actually the 7th time. They have faced each other in the amateurs, each winning 3 times. In the case of Roach and Davis, they've fought twice, with Davis winning both matchups. Now, Roach seeks revenge, especially for one fight where he believes the judges robbed him. This fight also carries an additional layer of intrigue, as it could mark the beginning of the end for Davis's career. That's all for now. Stay connected with us on YouTube for the latest updates on boxing news, events, and action. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to be the first to know about our quality content. Until next time, peace out.